Hey everyone, and welcome to the AnzenGuard Podcast, the show that takes you on a deep dive into the digital world. I'm Michael Reynolds, and I'm so glad you could join us as we explore a topic that's absolutely essential for anyone who lives, works, or plays online.
And I'm Laura Wilson, here to help us navigate the sometimes fascinating and sometimes a little scary world of cybersecurity.
Today we're diving deep into something that's become as important as a good lock on your front door.
Antivirus software.
It's that digital guardian that helps keep your devices and your data safe from all the nasty threats lurking out there in those digital shadows.
You probably don't think about your car insurance every day.
Right.
But you're sure glad you have it when something goes wrong.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of how I think about antivirus software.
That's a great way to put it. In 2024, our lives are so intertwined with the digital world, from online banking and shopping to social media and gaming.
And just like in the real world, there are bad actors out there looking to take advantage.
Okay, so let's set the stage. We often hear the term virus thrown around, but malware, that's the umbrella term for all the bad stuff out there, is a whole lot more diverse than that.
It really is.
It's like a whole rogues gallery of digital villains.
Yes, each with its own sinister MO.
Okay, so let's talk about some of these digital villains.
All right, we'll take ransomware, for example.
Right.
This nasty piece of software is like a digital kidnapper.
Oh, wow.
Holding your files hostage until you pay a hefty ransom.
And we're not talking about a few bucks here.
No, not at all. The average ransom demand can be thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars.
Wow, I can't even imagine.
Imagine losing access to all your photos, your important documents, your work files.
Everything.
Everything.
That's a nightmare scenario.
It really is. And I've heard stories about how these ransomware gangs are getting even more sophisticated.
Oh, yeah.
Targeting entire businesses and even critical infrastructure.
Yeah, that's scary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just ransomware, right?
No, definitely not. We've got adware that bombards you with those annoying pop-ups and really slows down your device.
Oh, I hate those.
And then there's spyware secretly lurking in the background.
Oh, sneaky.
Stealing your personal information and spying on your every move. It's enough to make you paranoid.
Okay, I'm officially creeped out.
I know, right?
And I know there are even more types of malware out there like Trojans, which disguise themselves as harmless programs to trick you into letting them in.
Oh, yes, those are tricky.
And those worms, those self-replicating menaces that just spread like wildfire across networks.
It can cause a lot of damage.
It's like a digital horror movie out there.
It can definitely feel that way sometimes.
Yeah.
But luckily, we have antivirus software to fight back against these digital threats.
Okay, thank goodness for that. So let's get into how these digital protectors actually work. It's not magic, right? There's got to be some serious tech behind it.
You're right. It's not magic, but it is pretty ingenious. Modern antivirus software takes what we call a two-pronged approach to keeping you safe.
Okay, a two-pronged approach. I like it. So what's the first line of defense?
Well, first we have what's called the database approach. Think of it like a massive library of known bad cloud signatures.
Okay.
Antivirus software is constantly scanning your files and any incoming data, comparing them to this library.
So it's like having a super strict bouncer at a club, checking IDs against a list of known troublemakers.
Exactly.
If your code matches a known bad actor, you're denied entry.
You got it. But here's the challenge.
Okay.
What about those brand new threats?
The ones that haven't made the list yet.
Exactly, the ones that haven't been cataloged yet. That's where the second prong of the antivirus approach comes in.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Tell me more.
It's called behavioral detection.
Behavioral detection.
And it's all about identifying malicious behavior even if the antivirus software hasn't seen that specific code before.
So it's not just about what the code looks like, but what it's actually doing.
Exactly. And this is where things get really high-tech.
Okay, lay it on me. Antivirus software uses advanced techniques like heuristics, machine learning, and sandboxing to analyze what a program is up to.
Okay, heuristics, machine learning, sandboxing.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're getting into some serious cybersecurity jargon here.
We are getting a little technical, but I promise I'll break it down for you.
Okay, please do.
So think of heuristics as educated guesses based on experience.
Okay.
The antivirus software looks for code that resembles known threats.
Even if it's not an exact match?
Right. It's like profiling a suspect based on their behavior patterns.
So it's looking for red flags, even if it hasn't seen this particular bad guy before.
Exactly. And machine learning takes this a step further.
Okay.
It enables the antivirus software to actually learn from past encounters and adapt to new threats. It's like giving the software a brain that can constantly learn and evolve.
So it's constantly getting smarter and more effective.
That's right.
Okay, what about sandboxing? That sounds kind of fun.
It is a bit like a digital playground, but for potentially dangerous programs. Sandboxing allows the antivirus to run suspicious programs in a safe, isolated environment.
So it can't cause any real damage.
Exactly, to see what they do. If the program tries to access sensitive data or exhibit other malicious behavior, the antivirus can stop it before it can do any real harm.
So it's like having a virtual lab where you can safely poke and prod at potentially dangerous stuff without risking your actual computer.
Exactly. And with these two approaches, database and behavioral detection working together,
Yeah.
antivirus software provides a much more comprehensive layer of protection.
It's like having a security guard and a detective working side by side to keep your digital world safe.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so we've got our two-pronged defense system in place, but what are some of the key features we should be looking for in modern antivirus software? What sets the good ones apart from the rest?
Well, first and foremost, you want what's called a robust system scanner.
Okay, a system scanner.
This is the workhorse of your antivirus. It regularly checks your entire device for any signs of trouble.
It's like having a security patrol that's constantly on the lookout for anything suspicious.
Exactly. And there are different types of scans.
Oh, there are. Like what?
We've got quick scans for those times when you're in a hurry,
Okay.
and then more thorough scans for a deeper dive.
So a quick scan when you just want to kind of do a check, and a full system scan when you really want to make sure everything is good.
You got it. And then there are on-demand scans, which you can initiate manually whenever you feel like your device needs a thorough digital checkup.
So it's like calling in a specialized team for a deep forensic investigation.
I like that analogy.
Okay, so we've got our regular scans and on-demand scans to proactively hunt down those digital bad guys.
Right.
But what happens if the antivirus actually finds something? Does it just sound an alarm, or does it take action?
Well, a good antivirus software doesn't just detect threats, it eliminates them.
Okay, yeah.
And that's where malware removal comes in.
Malware removal.
And not all malware removal is created equal. You want to look for software that has a high success rate in those independent lab tests,
Okay.
meaning it can completely eradicate those threats.
And not just suppress them temporarily.
Exactly. You don't just want to shoo the cockroaches under the rug.
Right. You want to get rid of them for good.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's ransomware, that digital hostage situation we talked about earlier.
Oh, yeah. That's a scary one.
Protection against ransomware is absolutely crucial these days.
I bet.
The best antivirus software offers proactive protection,
Okay.
stopping ransomware before it can encrypt your files.
So it's not just about cleaning up the mess after an attack.
Right.
It's about preventing the attack from happening in the first place.
Exactly. And look for features like secure storage options where you can keep your most important data safe from ransomware's clutches.
So almost like a digital safe.
Exactly. And data recovery features can be a lifesaver if you ever do fall victim to an attack.
Yeah.
Then you get back on your feet.
Okay, so we've got system scans, malware removal, and ransomware protection. But what about those sneaky phishing attacks where they try to trick you into giving up your personal information? How does antivirus software deal with that?
Phishing protection is another must-have feature.
Okay.
The best antivirus software can recognize those shady emails and websites that are designed to steal your passwords and data.
So it's analyzing those emails and websites for signs of trickery.
Exactly. Things like misspellings, weird URLs, or requests for personal information that seem out of place.
Got it. So if something seems off, trust your gut.
Yes, trust your instincts.
Don't click on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about Wi-Fi inspection.
Wi-Fi inspection. Okay.
You know how we all love to connect to public Wi-Fi without a second thought?
Oh, yeah. Guilty as charged free Wi-Fi is like a siren song.
Well, good antivirus software can scan for vulnerabilities before you join a network,
Well,
potentially saving you a ton of trouble down the line.
so it's like having a security expert check out the Wi-Fi network before you walk into the building.
That's a great analogy.
Okay, so we've covered those core malware protection features, but it sounds like modern antivirus software goes beyond just fighting off those digital bad guys. It's like a whole security suite rolled into one.
That's right. Many antiviruses offer a whole suite of extra features to enhance your online security and privacy.
Okay, give me the rundown. What kind of extras are we talking about?
Well, one of the most popular extras is a VPN, or virtual private network.
VPNs are all the rage these days. What do they actually do?
Think of a VPN as a secret tunnel for your internet traffic.
Okay.
It encrypts your data, making it much harder for snoopers to see what you're doing online.
So it's like browsing the web incognito, even if you're not using private browsing mode.
Exactly. And this is especially important when you're using public Wi-Fi, where anyone could potentially be snooping on your connection. It's like having a private conversation in a crowded room.
Okay, VPN's got it. What else is on the menu?
Another handy extra is a password manager.
Okay.
Tired of remembering dozens of complex passwords?
Who isn't?
A good password manager can be a lifesaver. It stores all your passwords securely and can even generate super strong passwords that are practically impossible to crack.
So it's like having a digital vault for all your passwords.
Exactly.
But you only need one master key to unlock it.
Precisely. And this not only saves you time and frustration, but it also significantly enhances your security. Using the same weak password for multiple accounts is a recipe for disaster.
Right. It's like using the same key for your house, your car, and your safe deposit box.
Exactly.
Okay, VPNs, password managers.
Yeah.
Any other cool extras we should know about?
Well, some antiviruses include optimization tools.
Optimization tools.
Okay. These won't necessarily stop malware,
Okay.
but they can help your computer run faster and smoother.
Oh, that's always a plus. Nobody likes a sluggish computer.
Exactly. They do things like cleaning up temporary files, defragmenting your hard drive, and optimizing your system settings.
Okay, cool.
What else? And then there are secure browsers.
Secure browsers.
Specifically designed for sensitive activities like online banking and shopping. Okay. These browsers have extra security features to protect your financial information, like built-in VPNs and anti-phishing tools.
So it's like having a separate, super secure lane on the digital highway just for your most valuable data.
Exactly. And some antiviruses even offer identity theft protection.
Identity theft protection.
This can be a lifesaver if your data ever gets leaked in a breach. They offer tools to help you monitor your credit, freeze your accounts, and even provide insurance to help you recover.
Wow. So it's not just about protecting your devices, it's about protecting your entire digital identity. That's pretty comprehensive.
It is. And with cybercrime becoming increasingly sophisticated, these extras are becoming more and more valuable.
They're like the extra layers of security that can really give you an edge in the digital world. Okay, Laura, this has been super informative. We've covered a lot of ground already, from the different types of malware to the two-pronged approach of antivirus software and all those amazing extra features. But I think we need to take a quick break and come back to tackle the million-dollar question. Do you actually need antivirus software? And if so, how do you choose the right one for your needs? Stay tuned. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back to the AnzenGuard Podcast, where we're helping you stay safe and secure in the digital world.
We're still diving deep into the world of antivirus software. Laura Wilson, our cybersecurity expert.
It's great to be back, Michael.
All right, Laura, before the break, we were talking about all those extra features that modern antivirus software offers.
Yes, all those cool extras.
Like VPNs and password managers.
Exactly.
But now I want to tackle the big question that's probably on everyone's mind.
Do you mean the question of whether they really need antivirus software?
Exactly. I mean, with all the built-in security features we hear about on our devices these days.
Right. Are those enough? Or do we still need that extra layer of protection that antivirus software provides?
That's a really important question, Michael. And the answer, in most cases, is a resounding yes.
Really?
Even with those built-in security features, antivirus software is still crucial.
Okay, so you're saying those built-in security features aren't enough? But why not? I thought our devices were getting pretty good at protecting themselves these days.
They are getting better, for sure.
Yeah.
But built-in security is really just a foundation.
Okay.
Think of it like the standard lock on your front door. It'll deter those casual thieves.
Right.
But a determined attacker can still find a way in.
So antivirus software is like adding a deadbolt, an alarm system, and maybe even a guard dog.
Exactly. It provides those extra layers of protection that can really make a difference. And let's be honest, the digital threats out there are getting more sophisticated all the time.
It's like an arms race between the good guys and the bad guys.
It really is.
Right? The cyber criminals are always coming up with new ways to trick us and steal our data.
That's why it's so important to stay ahead of the game.
So it sounds like we need to be proactive.
Right.
And not just rely on the basic security that comes with our devices.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you mentioned something earlier that I want to dig into a little bit more. You talk about web protection.
Yes, web protection is essential.
What's that exactly?
Web protection is like having a digital shield against all those nasty websites that are lurking out there.
Okay.
It blocks those malicious websites before they can even load.
So you don't accidentally stumble into a digital danger zone?
That's a great way to put it, Michael. And the best part is web protection works in real time.
So you don't even have to think about it.
Exactly. It's constantly scanning websites in the background looking for any signs of danger.
That's reassuring to know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious, how does web protection actually recognize these malicious websites? Is it just a giant list of bad URLs?
It's a little more sophisticated than that.
Okay.
Web protection uses a combination of techniques, including blacklisting heuristics and machine learning.
Okay, let's break that down. What's blacklisting?
Blacklisting is basically a list of known bad websites that are blocked outright. Think of it like a do not enter sign for the internet.
Makes sense. But what about new websites that haven't been blacklisted yet? How does web protection deal with those?
That's where heuristics and machine learning come. And heuristics, as we mentioned earlier, are like those educated guesses based on experience.
Right.
The web protection software looks for patterns and characteristics that are common to malicious websites.
Like what kinds of things?
Things like suspicious domain names, misspellings, and requests for personal information that seem out of place.
So it's like a digital detective looking for clues that something shady might be going on.
Exactly. And machine learning takes this a step further,
Okay.
enabling the software to learn from past encounters and adapt to new threats.
So it's getting smarter all the time.
It's constantly evolving and getting better at identifying those bad websites.
So it's like having a security guard who's always learning new tricks to stay ahead of the criminals.
That's a great analogy, Michael.
So with these three techniques working together, blacklisting heuristics and machine learning,
Right.
web protection can provide a pretty robust layer of defense against those malicious websites.
Exactly.
This is all great information, Laura, but I'm realizing that choosing the right antivirus software can feel a bit overwhelming.
I understand.
There are so many options out there. How do we even begin to narrow it down?
That's a valid point, Michael. It can definitely feel like a jungle out there. But don't worry, there are some key factors to consider that can help you make an informed decision.
Okay, give us the inside scoop. What should we be looking for?
First and foremost, you want to look for software with a proven track record.
Okay, a proven track record.
Independent testing labs like AV-Test and AV Comparatives regularly evaluate antivirus software, putting it through those rigorous tests
Oh, wow.
to assess its effectiveness in detecting and blocking threats.
So it's like checking consumer reports for antivirus software.
Exactly.
We want to see who the top performers are.
You got it. Look for software that consistently scores high in these tests, demonstrating its ability to protect against those real-world threats.
Okay, that makes sense. So we want something that's effective, but it also needs to be easy to use, right?
Absolutely. Nobody wants antivirus software that's so complicated they need a computer science degree to use it.
Right. It should be user-friendly even for those of us who aren't tech-savvy.
Exactly. You want software that has a clean, intuitive interface and provides clear, concise alerts and notifications.
So it should be like a good security guard. Effective, but not intrusive.
Precisely. And another important factor is system impact.
System impact.
Some antivirus software can be quite resource-intensive, slowing down your computer's performance.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely experienced that before with some security software. It's like having a security guard who's so busy checking everyone's ID that the line to get in is backed up for blocks.
That's a great way to put it, Michael. You want to find that balance between strong protection and minimal impact on your system speed.
Okay, so effectiveness, ease of use, system impact. What else?
Don't forget about customer support.
Oh, right. Customer support.
What happens if you run into a problem or have a question about the software?
Right.
You want to make sure the company offers reliable and accessible customer support.
It's like having a security guard who's actually there to help you when you need it.
Exactly. And finally, let's not forget about the price. Antivirus software can range from free to hundreds of dollars per year.
So there's a wide range of options.
There really is. It's important to find that sweet spot software that provides the right level of protection for your needs without breaking the bank.
Okay, so consider your budget.
Absolutely. And don't forget about those extra features we talked about earlier, VPNs, password managers, parental controls.
Right.
These can add significant value and enhance your overall online security. So consider what features are important to you and factor that into your decision.
Okay, Laura, this is all incredibly helpful. You've given us a lot to think about when it comes to choosing the right antivirus software. But even with the best software in the world, we still need to be smart about our online behavior, right?
You're absolutely right. Michael, antivirus software is a crucial tool, but it's not a silver bullet. We still need to practice safe digital habits to really minimize our risk and stay ahead of those digital bad guys.
Okay, preach it, Laura. Give us the rundown on those essential digital safety tips.
All right, well, first and foremost, be mindful of what you click on. Avoid those suspicious links and attachments, even if they come from someone you know.
Because even our friends and family can accidentally forward malicious content.
Exactly. And be wary of phishing scams, those tricky emails or websites that try to trick you into giving up your personal information.
So if something looks fishy, don't take the bait, no matter how tempting that free cruise offer might seem.
Right. And use strong, unique passwords for all your online accounts.
I know it's a pain to remember so many different passwords.
Oh, I know.
But it's crucial for security.
It really is. And that's where a password manager can be really helpful.
Right.
And keep your software up to date. Those updates often include important security patches that can protect you from new threats. It's like giving your digital armor a fresh coat of paint.
So keep those defenses strong and up to date. Makes sense. What else?
Be careful about what information you share online. The less personal information you put out there, the less there is for cyber criminals to exploit.
So think before you post, especially on social media.
Exactly. And finally, be aware of your surroundings when you're using public Wi-Fi.
Because those unsecured networks can be a breeding ground for cybercrime.
Right. If you're going to use public Wi-Fi, consider using a VPN to encrypt your connection. It's like putting on a disguise so those cyber criminals can't recognize you.
Okay, Laura, this has been a truly enlightening conversation.
I'm glad to hear that, Michael.
You've demystified the world of antivirus software and given us some great tips for staying safe online. I feel much more informed and empowered now.
That's what we're here for, Michael. Knowledge is power.
So true.
And the more you understand about cybersecurity, the better equipped you'll be to protect yourself.
So true. Now, before we wrap up this episode, I want to ask you one more question. What's the biggest misconception people have about antivirus software? What do you wish more people understood?
That's a great question, Michael. I think the biggest misconception is that antivirus software is only for people who are tech-savvy or engage in risky online behavior. But the truth is, everyone needs antivirus protection. Cybercriminals don't discriminate. They target everyone from grandmothers to CEOs.
Why?
And with our lives becoming increasingly digital, the risk of encountering a cyber threat is higher than ever before.
That's a really important point, Laura. So even if you think you're careful online and you don't do anything risky, you're still a potential target.
Yeah.
Antivirus software can be that crucial layer of protection that keeps you safe from those threats.
Exactly. And another misconception is that antivirus software is a set-it-and-forget-it solution.
Okay.
But it's not. You need to choose the right software for your needs.
Right.
Keep it updated and practice those safe digital habits we talked about. It's a combination of good technology and smart behavior that will really keep you protected.
So it's like having a security system in your house.
Mm-hmm.
You get the best alarm system in the world, but if you leave your doors and windows unlocked, it's not going to do much good.
That's a perfect analogy, Michael. It's about having both the right tools and the right mindset.
And speaking of the right tools, we've covered a lot of ground today, but there's always more to learn about antivirus software.
Absolutely.
And that's why we're here. We'll continue to explore this fascinating world of cybersecurity on future episodes of the AnzenGuard Podcast. But for now, we want to thank you for joining us on this deep dive into antivirus software. Hopefully you've gained some valuable insights and feel more confident about navigating the digital world.
Welcome back to the AnzenGuard Podcast, where we're arming you with the knowledge to navigate the digital world safely and securely.
We're still deep diving into the world of antivirus software with the amazing Laura Wilson.
Always happy to be here.
Before the break, we were talking about the importance of choosing the right antivirus software
Yes, making sure it's a good fit.
and developing those smart digital habits that keep us safe online. But now I want to shift gears a little bit
Okay, sounds good.
and talk about something that's been on my mind.
What's that?
Well, with all the advancements in technology these days, I'm wondering what the future holds for antivirus software.
That's a great question.
What new threats are emerging? How are these antivirus companies staying ahead of the curve?
Right. It's like a constant game of cat and mouse.
It really is.
The threat landscape is constantly evolving, and antivirus companies are always working hard to stay one step ahead of those bad guys. It's a never-ending challenge.
So what are some of the trends you're seeing on the horizon? What should we be keeping an eye on?
Well, one trend that's really gaining momentum is the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning in antivirus software.
We talked about machine learning earlier, but how is AI being used specifically?
Well, AI is being used to analyze vast amounts of data to identify patterns and anomalies that might indicate a threat. It can help antivirus software detect new and emerging threats much faster than those traditional methods.
So it's like having a superpower detective who can sift through mountains of data in seconds and spot those subtle clues that humans might miss.
Exactly. And AI can also help automate tasks like malware analysis and threat response,
Okay.
freeing up human security experts to focus on more complex issues.
That sounds incredibly efficient, What other trends are you seeing out there?
Another trend is the growing importance of cloud-based security.
Cloud-based security.
With more and more of our data and applications moving to the cloud, that traditional antivirus software that's installed on individual devices is becoming less effective.
So how are antivirus companies adapting to this shift to the cloud?
They're developing cloud-based security solutions that can protect data and applications no matter where they reside.
Okay.
These solutions can provide real-time threat detection and prevention across entire networks, not just individual devices.
So it's like having a global security force that's constantly patrolling the digital landscape looking for threats.
That's a great way to put it, Michael. And another interesting trend is the rise of what's called zero-trust security.
Zero trust, that sounds pretty intense.
It is. Zero-trust security is based on the idea that you should never trust any user or device by default, even if they're inside your network.
So even if they look familiar.
Exactly. It's all about verifying and authenticating everything before granting access to sensitive data.
So it's like having a super strict bouncer at every single door in your digital building. No one gets in without showing proper credentials.
Exactly. And this approach is becoming increasingly important as cyber attacks become more sophisticated and more targeted.
It sounds like the future of antivirus software is all about being proactive and adaptable, anticipating those threats before they even happen.
Absolutely. The days of simply reacting to threats are over. Antivirus companies are using cutting-edge technology to stay ahead of the curve and provide that comprehensive protection for our increasingly digital lives.
This has been a fascinating glimpse into the future of cybersecurity, Laura. It's clear that the battle against cyber threats is constantly evolving.
It really is.
But it's also reassuring to know that the good guys are working tirelessly to keep us safe.
That's right, Michael. And remember, even with all the advanced technology in the world, the most important line of defense is still you.
Ah, that's a good point.
By staying informed, practicing safe digital habits, and using the right tools, you can navigate the digital world with confidence.
So true, Laura. Well, this wraps up our deep dive into the world of antivirus software. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the basics of how antivirus works to the latest trends and innovations. Hopefully you learned something new and feel more empowered to protect your digital life.
And if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed or unsure about where to start, don't hesitate to reach out to your antivirus provider or a trusted cybersecurity expert. They can help you assess your needs and choose the right solutions for you.
Excellent advice, Laura. And remember, this is just the beginning of our exploration into the world of cybersecurity. We'll be back with more deep dives on other essential topics in the future. So be sure to subscribe to the AnzenGuard Podcast so you don't miss an episode.
And don't forget to leave us a rating or review. It helps other people find the podcast and learn how to stay safe online.
Absolutely. We appreciate your support. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, feel free to send us a message. We love hearing from our listeners.
Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and stay protected.
This is Michael Reynolds.
And Laura Wilson.
Signing off from the AnzenGuard Podcast.
Thanks for listening.